St Andrews Links offered a warm welcome to the newly created Tartan Pro Tour and the St Andrews Classic. The Jubilee Course and the new course, which is celebrating its 125th birthday this year, were both in fabulous condition, providing a true links golfing challenge to a field comprised of a mix of young aspiring golfers from both the men's and women's game, alongside many well-established names from the European, Challenge and Euro Pro Tours. The man behind the new tour is the 1999 Open champion Paul Lawrie, who can now add this newly created professional circuit to a long list of achievements in giving back to the game of golf. The two courses this week fit in nicely with the high quality venues played at this season so far, but as with so many other golfers, St Andrews has a special place in the heart of our host this week.
You know, it's a great wee town. It's probably our busiest town as far as golf is concerned, with golf courses in it. Personally, obviously, Dunhill Links is something I'll never forget. Winning at the home of golf was really cool then and as it is now, so it's always a place I enjoy spending time. We've had some really nice venues. All the guys and girls are loving it. You know, I think the venues have been of high quality. Everyone's enjoyed it. I think it's just what was required. We've got some plans to grow it a little bit next year and get a little bigger and more tournaments, and a few more sponsors are coming on board that I've spoken to. You know, Aberdeen Standard, Farm Foods, Eric Herd again, just, you know, these amazing. Cloud Cube this week, Steve Boyle, great guy. Took him seconds to say, a great idea for you to do it. It gives us an opportunity to get the players in, show them the quality of the tournaments and the venues, and we can show them what we can do for next year.
The Tartan Pro Tour has been running an order of merit throughout the series, and the prize for finishing top at the end of the season, a place in the $7 million Aberdeen Standard Investments Scottish Open.
The Aberdeen Standard Investments are, as you know, probably the biggest supporter of Scottish golf in my time. So for them to offer us a game in the Scottish Open for the winner of the men's and the ladies' order of merit, ladies will be next year, men's will be this year, is just phenomenal for these guys. This is what they're after. They're looking to step up and get their games going and get their careers going, and what better way to do it in the Scottish Open?
Currently sitting on top of the order of merit is Clydebank's John Henry, who this week is concentrating on keeping his good form going, whilst also being delighted to be back at the home of golf.
It's the golfing mecca, so it's just brilliant to be here and playing at the home of golf. I'm just going to try to keep playing the way I have been and preparing for the tournaments the same way I have and just keep going. But I mean, playing the Scottish Open would be awesome. Paul's been brilliant for Scottish golf for so many years, but what he's put on right now has been incredible. The playing opportunities it's given for guys, and the plans for the next few years sound pretty big as well.
Alison Muirhead was still an amateur when she finished third at the St Rule Trophy here last year. Despite winning her card at Q School for the Ladies European Tour, playing opportunities as a professional have been few and far between. So she's another golfer that's delighted that Paul Laurie's created this new Tartan Pro Tour to help give the golfers some competitive opportunities this season.
Some of us wouldn't have been able to play all year. So, I mean, I'm really appreciative of all the hard work he's done and all his team and everyone around, and it's just great to be playing competition again. I have a lot of great memories from St Andrews, played a lot of great golf on this course, and I came here as a little kid to watch the Open, and you come and watch people compete, so yeah, it's a lot of great memories here.
Alison played well in round one on the Jubilee course, finishing at 3 under par, but couldn't match that on day 2 on the new course and eventually finished in a tie for 23rd. Paul Lawrie had got to 7 under at one point in his opening round, but after a double bogey at 16 he was happy to get up and down here at 17 and finish with a couple of pars to be 5 under, tied for 3rd after the first round on the Jubilee. He sat alongside Jamie McCleary, twice a winner on the Challenge Tour. Steady stuff from the Fife man, and he too was 5 under at the halfway point. Conor McKinney is still an amateur, but obviously has ambitions to turn professional in the game, and no wonder. Fantastic approach here at the second. That putt would drop, and it would be the first of 7 birdies for the Australian-based Scotsman. 7 under total, as he and the other golfers made the most of the flat calm conditions, pretty unusual round here. Now the only man that could beat that score was Chris Robb. He had this to go 8 under on the 18th, just coming up short, which meant that he would sit joint leader alongside Conor McKinney at 7 under par going into day 2, where the conditions, it has to be said, were a little bit chillier, a little bit breezier. No problems for this man though, Jack Doherty. He'd started the day 3 shots off the lead, but a fine approach here at the first on the new course would lead to a birdie, and he would move to 5 under par. He's playing alongside Craig Lee. Craig's already qualified for the Scottish Open due to fine performances on the PGA circuit, and he too would open with a birdie to move to 5 under. Nicely played. Into the wind coming off the North Sea, which is no doubt more appreciated by the kite surfers than the golfers, although it didn't seem to bother Conor O'Neill either. A massive drive here at the first. A man who gets about his game pretty smartly, and well, if it works, why not? Nice little kick off the slope, a birdie for Conor O'Neill, and he too would move to 5 under par. Out onto the course now in the tricky par 3 fifth, and James Johnston was on a bit of a charge. 3 under for his round after 5 holes, and the big man also joining those at 5 under par now for the tournament. Back on the tee, Ryan Campbell. He's had a consistent season last season on the Euro Pro, finishing 11th in the order of merit, missing his competitive golf this year. Hasn't played as well as he would have liked to so far in these series of events, but a nice tee shot there. He would see that home for his birdie and join in at the top of the leaderboard, now pretty packed at 5 under par. So what about the overnight leaders? Well, Chris Robb had just holed out at the previous hole to move to 10 under par, and things seemed to be going his way, coming up just short of the green, but a nice kick on. And the man to catch at the moment, playing alongside Jamie McCleary. He was level par for his second round at this point. Another of the golfers sitting at 5 under. But a great tee shot. Look at that. Fantastic stuff. Well, golfers and organisers following the online app to see how the scoring is going. And they would see that Conor McKinney was 8 under par. And look at that for a putt coming up through the hollow in this 5th green. And I can tell you that was 3 very different routes to 3 pars for the final group out. So we can move up now to the 7th. Jamie McCleary birdied the 6th, one of the toughest holes on the course. He was now 6 under and looking to get things going. Another great approach shot. Chris Robb had come through the back of the green with his, and he had had a double bogey at the 6th, so he was back to 8 under par, looking to do something about it from distance. A very nearly a spectacular birdie straight back. He'd have to settle for a par, still at 8 under. Conor McKinney would go back to 7 under after a bogey here, but Jamie McCleary going in the other direction, back-to-back birdies, and he is now also 7 under par. A really tightly packed leaderboard up the top, and looking to join in, well, veteran Greg Hutchin, former Scottish PGA champion amongst many other tournaments that he's won in a long and distinguished career. A nice birdie at the par 5 12th, and he was now 6 under par, and he would finish on that score, which is good enough to be tied 4th for the tournament. Jack Doherty still going well. He was 6 under coming up the 12th, and look at this for a bunker shot, leaving a tap-in birdie, and he would move to 7 under par. Well, remember, he's playing alongside Craig Lee. This was his birdie putt. He was at 5 under at the time, moving to 6 under, and this tournament really, there was about a dozen golfers within 1 shot of the lead round about now, and Craig Lee, well, he was one of them. James Johnston, he'd got himself to 7 under par coming up the 16th, but leaving that approach short. He would go back to 6 under. He would finish on that score, also in a tie for 4th. up to the 18th, and Jack Doherty had this putt to finish at 8 under par. Post that score and let the others worry about it, but it came up just short. Still good enough for the clubhouse lead at the time. 7 under par. A nice 4 under round here on the new course on day 2, and a good performance from the Ayrshireman. Well, 7 under now the total to beat or to match, and with the wind still blowing, well, it had a chance. That's because the man who had been 10 under at one point, Chris Robb, was back to 7 under. He was looking to do something about it here at 14, another long range attempt at a birdie, but that would stay out and he would stay at 7 under par. Really playing for something, Chris Robb. He's up there in the order of merit after 2 runner-up spots earlier in the season, but he was now 1 shot behind Jamie McCleary, who had that to move to 9 under a birdie attempt. He would have to settle for par, but still leading the tournament by 1 shot now. Back up to 18, and Ryan Campbell looking to join Jack Doherty at 7 under par in the clubhouse with this birdie attempt, but it just stayed out. A good couple of days' work though for the Falkirk man, finishing tied 4th at 6 under. Well, what about this week's tournament host, Paul Lawrie? He needed this to drop to go to 6 under. Stayed out. That was the story of the day for Paul. So many putts, so close, but just not dropping. And I think you can tell by his reaction. Conor O'Neill had this tricky little tester for par on the last. To be another golfer at 6 under par and tied for 4th. So it was all down to the final group now. Jamie McCleary still 8 under after a very impressive drive at the last, clearing the bunkers, middle of the fairway, and well, not bad for his approach. He would have looked to have got a little bit closer, bang on line and maybe 15-20 feet short. That meant that Chris Robb needed this chip to drop to match Jamie at 8 under and force him to sink that putt. And a pretty good attempt, but it just stayed out. Chris would finish 7 under par, and good points towards the order of merit, very much eyeing up that place in the Aberdeen Standard Investments Scottish Open. Conor McKinney, he was 6 under par, coming up the last. This to join Jack Doherty on 7 under, just stayed out, and another golfer finishing 6 under par, tied 4th. Well, that meant that Jamie McCleary could concentrate on looking good for the cameras. Kenny Smith down there on photography duty. 2 putts for the tournament. He's won previously on these courses as an amateur, the Lynx Trophy, way back in 2004, and he certainly knows how to win in style. A birdie 3 on the last, and winner by 2 shots.
I've been playing quite well, I just haven't really made the most of it, whereas I was the exact opposite today. I didn't actually play that great, but I putted quite nicely, and when I did need to kind of get up and down, I did, because it wasn't easy out there, but yeah, it's always nice to shoot some decent scores, especially in weather like that, so that was good. I grew up just along the road, so I'm a fifer, pretty much, and I just enjoy coming along here, playing the St Andrews Links, the Dunhill, playing in this, so it's been good. For like a kind of mini tour like this, what you're really looking for is quality of golf courses, because I know in some of the other tours you play on the golf courses aren't always great, so this has probably been the biggest positive of the tour.
A great couple of days on 2 tremendous courses here at the home of golf. Congratulations again to Jamie McCleary, winner of the St Andrews Classic.